Hello again, today we're visiting the Rynek Underground Museum in the centre of Kraków in Poland. This is an archaeological site and museum located beneath the main market square, right under the famous Market Hall building. It's an immersive experience taking you through the history of Kraków in an interesting and informative way. But before we get into the museum, you need a ticket, and it's a bit tricky to get one. Plus, there's a way to get in for free. So here's the town square and the old market building. The museum entrance is located here, opposite St Mary's Basilica. But the ticket office is confusingly on the other side of the building, located here. Anyway, let's head inside to get a ticket. A standard entry ticket will cost you 40 zloty or around €9.50 or £8. However, on a Tuesday when we visited, it's free to get in. Remember though that there's only a limited number of tickets for any day, plus you can't pre-book for a Tuesday, so best to get your ticket early. So with tickets in hand, head on around the building back to the museum entrance and begin heading down the stairs to visit the museum. There's free lockers and cloakroom facilities downstairs and plenty of toilets, but let's check out the exhibits. The museum is quite dark down here, and as you can see it was quite busy too, with lots of people taking advantage of the free Tuesday entry. During our visit, we saw the medieval marketplace remains discovered during the excavations beneath the main market square. This section took us through the time period of around about the 11th to the 14th centuries, where we walked on the original cobblestone streets from medieval Kraków and discovered how urban planning of the city evolved over time. There were some fun video presentations here which helped to bring to life what it was like to live in medieval Kraków. We also saw remnants of wood and stone foundations revealing how the square's infrastructure developed over centuries. And there was also some areas set out like medieval merchant stalls or period traders like this blacksmith's, and we learned here about the rich trading routes that reached out from Kraków across Europe. The museum also houses a vast collection of everyday medieval objects, and during our visit we saw a selection of coins and weights from local and foreign traders, again reinforcing Krakow's importance in European trade. There was also examples of jewellery and clothing accessories, including rings and brooches, and of course tools and household items such as knives, ceramics and religious relics. And there was also a mock-up display to illustrate the burial sites, which included skeletons, some with evidence of unusual burial practices, possibly linked to local superstitions. The effects of devastating fires on the city in the past is highlighted with quite a large section set out like as if a fire is actually taking place, but I didn't personally think this was that well done and seemed to take up a lot of the floor space. Anyway, what was good mostly was the multimedia exhibits that blended live action videos into the structure of the building's foundations, although these were only in Polish, so tricky to understand what was going on in some cases. What was quite fun though was the live action animation show. This combined lights, effects and animatronics to create an entertaining experience, especially for younger visitors who seemed to be captivated by the talking bird and the characters in the story. But again, only in Polish, so the story was lost on us. Another section was the panoramic video show, where images were blended together, taking you on a visual journey through time. However, this just left us feeling quite dizzy and a bit queasy, so I wouldn't really recommend this bit. However, the rest of the video displays were fine, and overall this main area I thought was decent enough, if sometimes it felt a bit empty. At least there was space to breathe though. As our visit progressed, we moved on through some underground pathways where we saw some excavated structures, including remnants of old merchant houses, and you can see the build-up of history layers of the city through the ages as you go. And moving on, we're now in a section where a number of chambers were set out with seats and video presentations that take you through different periods in the city's history. Once done here, you make your way through another underground walkway, which then opens up back to the cloakrooms and toilets area. So we're heading on up into the light once more to head off on to our next destination. I hope you like seeing the Underground Museum with us. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on my next video somewhere else in the world. See ya!